It is advantage Congress in Karnataka, though several opinion polls, or rather exit polls, forecast a hung assembly. The 2 or 3 major exit polls with a record of getting it right, or at least a writer, are forecasting a comfortable win for the Congress party in Karnataka, suggesting that not just did the Bomai factor prove to be unsuccessful, but that the Modi factor, if these numbers are right, did not work, at least at the state level. I'm Barkha Dutt. You're with the Mojo Story. In a moment from now, we'll be giving you the big picture of the exit polls. The 2 major polls, Axis India Today poll and the ABP voter poll, are predicting a comfortable advantage for the Congress in the state of Karnataka, predicting as well significant increases in the vote share of the party. The biggest knock has been taken by the JDS. This is, of course, significant because it's in exact opposite development to what happened in the last election, when with very few numbers, the JDS, the Janata Dal Secular, was able to emerge as the kingmaker of the pack. Let's introduce, without further ado, our guests on the program. As we look at the numbers, we're joined, if we can get the designations up, Kartikeya Batra, a numbers man, research scholar, political analyst, is with us. We're also joined by Tanveer Ahmed. Tanveer Ahmed is a spokesperson of the JDS. We're joined by Aarti Jairat, who's a veteran journalist and commentator. Also from the BJP joining us is Anand Gurumurthy. Also joining us is political analyst Anurag Naidu. And we'll be having, oh, there he is, Yashwant Deshmukh of the C Voter joining us in a moment from now. And also the Congress spokesperson should be with us in a moment. Before I hand it over to Yashwant to take us through the deep dive of what the ABP Voter Survey is saying, Kartikeya, you've been actually looking at the poll of polls, and you made the point that if you aggregate multiple polls, it will give you a different picture. And if you aggregate just Yashwant's poll and the India Today poll, it will give you a very different picture. So let's start actually with the poll of polls slide. First, the 6 polls. Can we have the slide of the 6 polls? And then looking at just the India Today and the C Voter Survey. Let's go ahead, Kartikeya. Okay, this is this the someone has to tell me. This is 6 polls. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
So this is what we were discussing in the previous show, Barkha, that any average, any dirty average, when you just take a simple average, is made up of several data points, right? And so in this particular number, you're seeing 112 for the Congress, is just at the majority mark. BJP 85. Now, if you were to disaggregate this number into 2 kinds of polls, one C Voter and Axis, which are the more credible ones with a proven track record, and the rest, you will see some disparity. When I say disparity, I mean that Yashwant sir's poll is giving you a sort of a number which is close to a situation where the Congress was just able to make it, but they stopped short, right? Whereas Axis is saying it's a comfortable victory and could be a sweep as well for the Congress. If you were to aggregate those 2, which I think are 2 likely outcomes, right? That the Congress just loses steam.
I think you can now see this is the Axis and the C Voter aggregated. Yeah.
If you take this average, the range of this average will be 111 to 126. Ergo, the average is roughly 118 to 190. If you were to just take Axis and C Voter. And I think that's what we are looking at if you would just look at these 2 numbers. And if you were to then do the same exercise for the BJP on the lower end will be around 72 and on the upper end will be around 87. And that average then turns out to be roughly 80. So just taking Yashwant Sir's numbers and Axis's numbers, it's BJP 80 and Congress 119. In that case, it's a comfortable majority for the Congress. But as I said, and you should discuss this with Yashwant Sir while I'm gone, I think the major divergence that's coming between C Voter and Axis is the Hyderabad-Karnataka area, where Axis is giving a clean sweep to the Congress, whereas C Voter is calling it close. As well as Bengaluru, where Yashwant Sir's numbers are showing a sort of close contest, whereas Axis is giving the Congress 17 seats out of 34, or 32 rather. So I think that's if I'm not wrong, Yashwant Sir, that's primarily where the divergence is coming from. And it will be great to know from you what is driving that divergence.
Okay, let me hand it over to Yashwant now. We're seeing the broad findings of his exit poll, the ABP Voter Survey. Yashwant, let me hand this over to you. What is very interesting, of course, is when we break down your numbers in terms of vote share, you are, of course, predicting a 3% increase in the vote share for the Congress, but you're also predicting a marginal increase in the vote share for the BJP. And actually, it's a dip for the JDS. So the JDS, it takes the biggest knock. Now, when you look at this number, number, it's advantage Congress, but not yet fully through. The Congress would want above 120 to be completely comfortable. Do you want to give us a breakdown of your numbers, Yashwant?
Yeah, first of all, Barkha, as the exit polling exercise, the data is still coming in. I mean, honestly speaking, people are actually in the booth till the slips are done. So, yes, the polls go on air very quickly right after the polling is officially stopped. But the data is actually always keeps on coming in at least 3-4 hours even after that thing is over. So first of all, the first update is that what the 3% margin that we had reported, it is actually approximately 3.7 now. So basically, it is going further in favor of the Congress in our data. Number one.
I see.
Number two, as we have discussed many a times about the marginal seats, and we did the quick analysis on the marginals. Barkha, there are almost, a quite significant number of 47 number of marginal seats where even a 3% swing can flip the results. Now, in these 47 seats, Congress is leading in only 18, JDS is leading in only 5, while the BJP is leading in 24, which in other words means that if the marginals, even for the smallest possible internal swings, this kind of flip, BJP stands to lose more than the Congress or the JDS. Now, in the BJP seats marginal, where according to us, BJP is leading out of the 24, Congress is actually runner-up in 20 and JDS is runner-up in 4. While the Congress, the 18 seats with the Congress is leading as the marginal, BJP is runner-up of 14 and JDS is the runner-up 4. In the JDS 5 seats, the Congress is runner-up in 3 and BJP in 2. Which, Barkha, to cut the long story short, Congress has a potential of 20 plus 3, 23 seats easily flipping their way if the this marginal increase of vote share that we are observing, it happens that way. On the other hand, if in our calculation, in our margins, if we read BJP wrong by 1.5%, BJP has a chance of flipping 16 seats, which would still not give them anywhere closer to the majority. But the chances are that when we have always observed that the marginals actually go to the leading party, whichever is leading the way in vote share, that's where the momentum is. This is why many a times on the counting day, you also observe that by the time the final results are out, the trend started gravitating big time in the favor of the party which has been leading since morning. So this is how simple majorities convert into two-thirds majorities convert into 3/4 brutal majority, and sometimes a potential hung gets into a clear majority. So what we are looking at the probabilities, if you will ask me, then first of all, the things to report to you on the live right now is that we feel that Congress is now probably heading for a 4% lead over the BJP.
So that number is going on increasing. It's gone from 3.7 to 4%.
Yeah, exactly. It's 3.8 right now. I am expecting that this probably will end up something like 4% if with the remaining data. I mean, if the trend is going that way. So number one. Number two, the thing is that even if with the probability of 50%, and it's not a very big statistical jargon to understand, even half of the marginals which we feel that Congress can flip, even 12 seats flip, then Congress can end as much as to 129, not as about 112. And if Congress manages to flip all 23, that it is kind of marginally trailing in, Congress can very well end up with some in the range of 120 to 140. Very much possible within the same vote share, within the same margin of 3% or 3.5% lead. So these are very much probabilities. My experience tells me that because we are we are pretty much conservative pollsters, Barkha, in any case, whenever the seat shares are concerned, it, and I always have been maintaining that.
Yes.
So we stick only the neck out, whichever is minimum. Our job is to pick up the winner. We picked up a winner 18 months back. We have done 2 programs on your show saying that Congress, and at one point of time, we projected 127 seats for the Congress. So what Tracker has been showing for almost like 18 months now, this is what the exit poll is kind of culminating in. There is nothing new that the exit polls are reporting to you at this point of time.
Here's my quick question before I open this up, Yashwant. Obviously, you're conservative. You have, another pollster, the Access India Today poll, that is predicting a much even bigger and more decisive win for the Congress. Is there any scenario in which these numbers could still take you back to a hung assembly? I ask you this because several of the other exit polls are actually talking about a hung assembly, and the Congress is not quite yet recovered from its JDS shadow of the last election, when Siddaramaiah seemed to be a very popular candidate, fell short of a majority. Can we unmute Yashwant?
In the probabilities, I will never say never. I mean, in that way, because we have seen many a times marginal seats, for n number of reasons, reacting in a very, very weird way. You remember the Haryana election where the BJP almost got 10% lead over the Congress. But still the assembly, it was a hung assembly. BJP could not cross the majority mark because there were too many rebels, there were too many smaller seats where the Jat votes kind of voted in a very different way, and BJP ended up, even with 10% lead, Barkha, they could not win a majority in Haryana. So this is very much possible. However, going by the largely large trend lines which I observe across big data points, I believe that these numbers are just the culmination of what our trackers have been saying. Only difference being that very intense campaign by the Prime Minister, particularly in the last 7 days, 8 days of thing, and some of the stupid things that the Congress managed to do in terms of their manifesto and other talking points, they might have closed in the contest in, say, for example, Bengaluru region, which Congress should have been sweeping like anything. It might have helped the BJP to repair some ground in Mumbai, Karnataka region, which the Congress, by the way, had taken a very significant lead in our trackers earlier. So that part remaining, I believe that Congress is very much within the reach of being home safe and dry, and we are glad to point it out for months on your show in that way.
Absolutely,
it is just that the last minute data noise that the campaign induced might have made many people confused of sort, and particularly in the urban areas. Congress has a very, very significant lead in the rural Karnataka in our data, and BJP has a lead in urban Karnataka in vote share. So that is a contrast of Karnataka story right now.
Okay, so let me actually switch back to the ABPC voter survey. The poll of polls you're seeing is of 6 different polls, but we did also aggregate the India Today and the C voter survey. If we can please, this is also okay, but I would like to actually see the individual slide of the C voter survey. But this is the Access My India and the ABPC voter, which places the Congress between 122 to 140. Can we go to the individual ABPC voter survey? Bhavya of the Congress, Anandji, let me bring in political reactions now. Bhavya, this is a lot clearer, of course, now. The 2 major pollsters are predicting a comfortable lead position for the Congress. Yashwant Deshmukh of the C voter is talking about an increase in 4% vote share for you. Your first thoughts, Bhavya. Sanjay Jha is also with us, but let me get Bhavya and Anandji, and then we'll open it up. Bhavya.
Yeah, we are really happy because most of the polls, most of the exit polls are showing at least a simple majority to absolute majority to Congress. And we were very sure. Our target was like 141 to 150. And we are really happy that most of the, there was one poll where the maximum was 140. And some of them have given Congress some 100+ seats, but we are very sure that we are going to come in full majority and form the government. Most of the exit polls, we totally agree with it.
And should I be asking you who will be Chief Minister if these numbers are correct? Because D.K. Shivakumar has made no apology of his ambition.
No, nobody has to apologize for aiming high and for being ambitious. But we have our own process where the MLAs, the elected MLAs, along with the High Command, will choose who will be the Chief Minister. It's like choosing the leadership. Whoever gets the highest number of votes among the MLAs will become the Chief Minister. The MLAs will be the ones who will form the cabinet, and they have to serve the Chief Minister. So that's how Congress has been appointing chief minister so far, whether it is 2013 or even before that, or in other states. So that's exactly how we are going to follow even this time. And
Okay, let me,
there are
yeah.
many aspirants for chief ministership. Yes, Mr. D.K. Shivkumar, Mr. Siddaramaiah, Mr. Hari Prasad, Mr. Parameshwar, Mr. M.B. Patil. But it all depends on how many MLAs can win under your leadership and how many MLAs will support you.
Can I just bring in the
So
BJP
that's how we
spokesperson?
decide who will
Okay.
be.
Okay. Anand ji, let me bring you in. The Prime Minister has led a very aggressive campaign in Karnataka. Most recently, the BJP even approached the Election Commission to deregister the Congress party. A lot of noise was made about Sonia Gandhi purportedly referring to sovereignty of Karnataka in her speech. It was there on the tweet, but not in her speech. A lot of noise over Bajrang Dal. If these numbers are correct, none of that has made a difference to the voter of Karnataka. To a large extent, the voter has responded to Karnataka as a state election, not a national election. Anand,
Yeah,
your thoughts on these numbers?
yeah, I would still say that maybe the people who are doing this survey are not looking at certain factors which we are looking at, because we still say that BJP will get a comfortable majority and you will see that on May 13th. Now, what are we focusing on that you people are not focusing is, number one is most of these surveys and other things are still stuck in 2018 data with the same leader faces and other things, which BJP felt the pulse and we changed around 72 people there in our 224 list, which most of the people, it was done in the last 1 month, and which most of the people thought that, okay, it was some kind of knee-jerk reaction. But it was a strategy which the party made and which we clearly saw that it will be helpful for the state and also it will be helpful for the party in future, and that's why it was done. So people are not reading into that. They are telling, no, these people can never win. That kind of a strategy was 1990s strategy, Barkha Dutt. It is gone. That era is gone now. Now we are in a different era. Now people see things in a different way. They want new people to come in, which people are not seeing. Second thing is always one is the leader focus. Second thing is how the beneficiaries schemes have worked in the last 5 years, especially Corona period and post that. Okay, most of us are a beneficiary through the vaccine process that happened in our country. And other than that, there are other things like the farmer gets a benefit, a small benefit. People say, "Oh, it's very small. Okay, we will reduce the electricity
So
bill."
what?
And
So what is? So what is giving you hope? You don't believe the data set of these exit polls?
Not the data set. I'm feeling that this is not very a kind of a data set which people want to believe, because they gave very huge numbers to Congress and they don't want, see, slowly and steadily they're sliding. So on May 13th, they will say, no, we were somewhere in the middle. Okay. So that kind
Well,
of a data
Yashwant,
set is being
you heard
prepared.
Yashwant.
Okay.
He's not saying that. He's in fact being very cautious and
No,
sliding it up for the Congress.
I respect his this thing, and I respect his work for last so many years. But that's different, okay? Because I have also traveled throughout the state. I have traveled majorly in the state in the last 1 year, and I have been sensing this pulse. So I feel somewhere, okay, maybe the data scientists will also come out of this and start reading the pulse in different way. India is changing in a very big way, especially after 2016.
Okay. I just want
Okay,
Yashwant to
because
briefly respond to what you're
the
saying.
the data, the kind of data that people are getting is also high. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, Yashwant, briefly, I want Sanjay Jha, Aarti, Anurag, and Tanveer to quickly respond, but I want your response to the point being raised about the data.
I don't know. I mean, how to respond it. This is not a one-time poll. We do the polling every day, and we have been reporting for the last 18 months that the Congress is gaining in Karnataka and BJP is facing a problem. What our friend is saying is right about 2014 onward, but he is also missing the point that people want to vote for different things at different level. Had it not been the case, then Arvind Kejriwal would not have won twice in Delhi and BJP would not have won 7-0 hands down. In 2018, BJP lost Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, in a really bad way. And yet within 4 months, they swept these elections because of Mr. Modi's name and candidature as the prime minister. So people coming and saying that they love Modi, they love Mr. Prime Minister, they want to vote for the Prime Minister, that is fine, but that should not be confused that they want to vote for him right here, right now. They will wait for 12 months and vote for him when the occasion comes. I think the double, you see, please, Barkha, we need to be very clear of this double engine narrative. Time and again, and I think for more than 3 years, our data, particularly in the CM rankings data of our India Today survey, has been very clearly telling that the BJP chief ministers are the worst performing lot and the opposition chief ministers have been the performing the best. And this double engine narrative is working only in two states for the BJP, that is Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma, and Yogi Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh, where these chief ministers' popularity is complementary and supplementary to prime minister's popularity. Otherwise, in all other states, the double engine, the problem is that the second engine of the chief minister in the local government is what we call in ठेठ हिंदी की गार्ड के डब्बे की जगह पे दूसरा इंजन लगा है, वो भी दूसरी तरफ मुंह करके, और वो भी न्यूट्रल गियर में नहीं है बरखा. अगर न्यूट्रल भी हो तो भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर अपनी पॉपुलैरिटी से खींच के ले जाए. तो आपका एक इंजन जो है उल्टी डायरेक्शन में खींच रहा है और प्राइम मिनिस्टर का इंजन सामने की डायरेक्शन में खींच रहा है. सो दैट क्रेडिट we have to give to prime minister कि he is making a competition even out of that kind of.
So you're saying that the Bomai factor in this case has dragged the BJP down, and it would have dragged it further down had Mr. Modi not kind of kept the BJP somewhat afloat. So it isn't Sanjay Jha, and this would be a good moment to remind our audience of the last Lok Sabha election results. It isn't Yashwant is arguing a diminishing of the Modi factor. The Modi factor has actually helped contain the damage in this particular case of the anti-incumbency around the Bomai government. Sanjay Jha, your response.
Good to be on your show. I just want to say it up front. I got to leave in a few minutes.
Yeah, go ahead with your first thoughts.
Yeah, so just make my points in a very succinct fashion. First and foremost, I want to publicly congratulate Yashwant, because many people may be cynical. At times, even I have been critical of him. But the consistency of Yashwant's survey on Karnataka and several other states, you have to applaud him for that. I don't know who was the gentleman who was critical of his survey, but Yashwant has been extraordinarily consistent on Karnataka for a long time. Now, I will debate most of the issues on the 13th. Let the results come out.
Sure.
Because everyone will start by saying, these are not final results, blah, blah, blah. The JDS still expects to form a government on its own. So I don't want to get into that space. In simple terms, there is a vote against the government. It's an anti-incumbency vote. And you have got to take the numbers of the BJP currently today in the assembly, which is 117. Majority of them have taken it below 100. And the Congress moving up from 60 or to over 100 and crossing to absolute majority. So it's an anti-Bomai government. It's a pro-Congress. It's not like a hurricane wave, but it is definitely a modest wave in favor of the Congress. The one last point, and I think it's important, and I'll probably write an article on it, but I need to tell you that Mr. Modi may have been working for a long time. But you look at the back-to-back Himachal Pradesh, where he made a statement that when you vote for the BJP, you are actually voting for my account. The people of HP, despite the vote share difference not being too high, did not buy into that argument. Mr. Modi has actually spent a little bit of, I would say time, but with a voluble aggression in Karnataka. And if these results hold, it really hasn't been able to work any magic. So the bottom line is that, let me be honest, I know we'll all keep talking about Mr. Modi's ability to, contain the loss situation of Mr. Bomai's very corrupt government. But the truth is that everyone at some point also has their own diminishing impact. And I think somewhere down the line, this double engine insults people of Karnataka and any other state to say that if you don't vote for me, you will not get good support in the state. I think that's so anti-federal and anti-constitutional.
Okay, Sanjay, we'll let you go. We have Bhavya here holding the fort for the Congress in Karnataka. Thank you for those comments. You've given us a sort of provocative argument there that I want to take to Aarti and Anurag before I come back to the numbers. Aarti, there will be a temptation by those who do not like the BJP to draw an extrapolation for national politics. You heard Sanjay Jha doing precisely that. In fact, I would argue that where the Congress manages to keep the election local, it does better than where the election becomes national, right? Do you agree with Sanjay that there will be now talk of the Modi factor diminishing, the Rahul factor actually getting stronger, whereas clearly this is an election fought and won if it's won by state leaders?
Absolutely. In Karnataka, the Congress has behaved like a regional party. And the command of the elections was in the hands of the two strong leaders they have, Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka, they came, but they played a very peripheral role in the entire campaign. And if you notice, even there, the issues they raised, apart from an initial issue, about Adani, both of them stuck to local issues. So this was very much a state campaign fought like a regional party against the BJP, you know. And I think that, the Congress has learned from its past mistakes that trying to take Modi on national issues in an assembly election does not really pay. It is much better to stick to local issues, and, where Modi actually does not have anything to say, because Modi is a national leader. Whatever Modi did this time, I don't think, I think there were two factors behind this aggressive campaign that Modi ran in Karnataka. One was, to boost the morale of a very demoralized party, which could see defeat coming its way. It's been a really bad, and this Congress has been running this 2 year long campaign against a 40% government. And I think they were getting enough traction on the ground to demoralize the BJP worker. So one was Modi came in to boost the morale of the BJP worker. And to some extent, he must have succeeded, because, the minute you raise Hindutva issues and so on, BJP worker gets enthused. But more than that, Modi is looking at 2024, Barkha. That is his main focus. And he has to keep himself imprinted in the minds of the people of India, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, from Mumbai to, Assam and the Northeast, so that in 2024 he can be the single primary issue of the national elections. And I think that was very much there. He's been doing this Christian outreach, which was creating, I think, some confusion in the rank and file about, what is happening to the BJP's core Hindutva issues. I think the fact that he came out on, so strongly on Bajrangbali and, the whole sovereignty question, was to reassure his cadre across the country that he has not lost sight of the, core Hindutva issues that make him the Hindutva icon that he is. So, Modi is not looking so much at Karnataka. He's looking at a larger national footprint for himself and the BJP, because 2024 is a critical election. They have to come back to power. And listen, if they want to, once they're back for a third term, they want to do an Operation Kamal anywhere, they will have the resources, they will have the strength, they can do they can do an Operation Kamal anytime they want to. So I don't think that, we should draw any big national conclusions from a Congress victory in Karnataka.
Okay, before I go back to Yashwant and I ask him to take a deeper dive, that's another poll, the IT Access My India poll, that this is how the vote shares stack up in their poll. Anurag, do you want to come in on these numbers? Earlier, when we were talking this week, you did believe that the Prime Minister's very aggressive rhetoric on sovereignty, on Bajrang Dal would have an impact. This doesn't look like it's had an impact at all.
Yes, Barkha. I mean, Barkha, I was always banking on the magic of Mr. Modi, and it did do. Even Yashwant agreed to the fact that it shows up that doing some wonders, particularly in the Bangalore area. Maybe 2024 MLAs in the Bangalore region, but that the result will only tell. But Barkha, I would like to be more honest today. In my conclusion, and I would like to also concede to the fact that it's looking a bit difficult. But let me also second the thought of what Sanjay has spoken about Yashwant, and I would like to congratulate again, because I think most of you would not realize, even in 2018, Yashwant's company was the only company that got it right. Even in 2018, Access My India has given a prediction which was in the favor of Congress, and the landslide, they gave about 118 seats to Congress in 2018, but the result was otherwise, 104 or 5 to the BJP. 2018 also, the exit polls went wrong in Karnataka, and they all predicted that Siddaramaiah is doing very well. The Annabhagya, the schemes of Siddaramaiah welfare scheme are doing good, and they're going to repeat. But it did not happen, and BJP was the single largest party. But today, what we see, and maybe a couple of the pollsters like Access My India and See Voter, I have a good respect for them, and I think things are looking in the favor of Congress. But certainly, what we need to see is where they went wrong. Barkha, we know that the contest, the BJP is still very strong when it comes to the coastal, central, and also, the Bangalore region. But the whole contest would lie between who takes away the Mysore, Karnataka, and Uttar Karnataka. So, and also, everything brings down to the
Sorry, we lost you there, Anurag. Let me ask Yashwant to jump in because we have the vote share breakup of the C voter exit poll, the ABP C voter exit poll. And you've actually said that the increase in the Congress has been sort of going up by about 4%.
Gap is 42-38, so basically it's about 4%.
So it would be more now. This was when the Congress had 3.4% vote share, so it would be higher now, the Congress vote share, right?
Yeah. So it's about 42 right now for the Congress and 38 for the BJP, as I can see on the screen right now from the server. So that's pretty much. But I mean, the gap is approximately of 4% in favor of the Congress, and that's a significant gap. Although having said that, it's the key thing for me to observe here is that actually in our numbers the JDS is sliding very significantly, and particularly in their bastion as well. And
by the way, I had a funny question on the screen for you. Why is Yashwant always conservative? Congrats, he says, the audience member, but wants to know why you're always conservative.
Well, because of a simple reason, Barkha, that survey science has to deal everything with picking up the vote share and the gap between the leading and the runner-up parties. It's never the seat to vote to seat conversion is never part of the survey science. It is just a mathematical extrapolation. As I mentioned, that though marginal seats, somebody might have an equation where they put the marginal seats in favor of the leading parties. Some people like to keep it that way. Some people might go the other way. So we are conservative because half the elections are actually results are conservative. But when people actually give sweeping predictions, and if those sweeping predictions come true, then the recall of those predictions is higher, Barkha. People remember that, okay, यार उसने एक तरफा बोला था और एक तरफा आ गया. बट एक तरफा बोला था और एक तरफा नहीं और नॉर्मल आया, तो कोई ये नहीं याद रखेगा कि अरे यार इसने एक तरफा बोला था और नॉर्मल आया. That is not considered a wrong poll, unfortunately. So I am conservative because it's my job to be conservative. My job is not to actually give the sweeping mandates and make in that way. My job is to pick you, and that too not one time, Barkha. My job is to do this mapping day in, day out. Keep on telling your viewers, this is what is happening throughout the year. This is where at this point of time it is dipping down on that particular issue or coming up on
I think Anandji of the BJP is wanting to come in. We need to start taking last comments, but I'm very interested also in what Aarti said, and I want to ask both BJP and Congress leaders about this. Was this a local election? Was this election fought, Anandji, on local issues or on the Modi factor? And do you acknowledge, going by these numbers, the anti-incumbency against the Bomai government?
See, basically, whether it was anti-incumbent or anything, we'll know on 13th, okay? But I just want to tell you, see, I am into the computer industry from 19 years, and I just wanted to make that point. After 2016, right, the individual data consumption with respect to what leaders are doing, how government is working, everything has gone really high. Still, the entirety, all people who come here only talk about people, that is the leaders, Modi ji, Bamma ji, or somebody else, the leaders they are talking about. They're still not talking about the common man. Maybe a sea voter or anybody who says, they'll say, okay, we have met many people and we have talked to. But in Kannada, there's a movie called as Ulidavaru Kandante. The way I see it, Bhavya might have only met the congressman. I might have met only the BJP man. Okay, sea voter might have met a better quality of share of people. All that is there. Okay, but still, the pulse of what we are measuring before 2016 to after 2016, it's totally different. That's why when sea voter poll of UP was seen, it was quite different, right?
But the result is the result, and this debate will be infructuous on the 13th.
No. I'm not blaming Yashwant or anybody. See, I'm trying to tell you one thing here, okay? These are mathematic numbers. For example, even I am a data engineer. So when data comes in, if you get the wrong data from the wrong side, then the whole result will also be wrong, which Yashwantji will also agree. But what
Okay.
I'm trying to tell is the pulse here, okay, is not being measured with respect to the beneficiary factor, which the BJP is already
I want
giving.
to ask Yashwant one question though on data, because when we look at this, when we look at your seat projection, this is from before the 3.1 was amended to 4% vote share. Would these seats change in your projection, Yashwant? Can we unmute Yashwant?
I said that even if I look into just 50% probabilities of that approximately 24 seats where Congress is trailing, even if Congress flips 12 seats, the high upper side of this will go to 124, 126 in that way. So
Yeah.
it's pretty much in that direction. So what you can say is that even with the most conservative estimates, again I am being conservative, you can easily add a dozen seats to the Congress tally, and take off dozen seats from the BJP, not dozen but 10 odd seats, and 2-3 seats from the JDS. But having said that, these are, again, I agree on one thing, sir, that these conversions, these data, these numbers, when they are done on one-off basis, they are more prone to errors. But when you are doing it on a daily basis, you have a trend line, a healthy trend line of anti-incumbency brewing up, which we have. So these numbers are not surprising to me.
But I just want to make one statement.
Let me put this on air. Say, for example, Barkha, as Sanjay said, we have been consistent about saying that Congress might win Karnataka. But we have seen n number of polls before the election which saying that BJP is going to win Karnataka. I'm not saying those polls are wrong, because they are done one time. At that point of time, on that day, they might
could be a different mood. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, Anand, Bhavya's wanted to come in.
Just
So
30
very
seconds.
briefly.
30 seconds.
Okay.
30 seconds. Okay.
Okay.
See, I am talking about
Once
the
again,
physics
Bhavya.
and,
Go ahead,
mathematics class. Okay,
When it comes to issues where elections were fought, we stuck to the local issues, no matter what. And we portrayed the local leaders as, the ones who will lead this government. But BJP didn't do that. We asked for vote for us, vote for progress,
So you
vote for
won't
a
call
clean
this.
government.
So you
Instead,
won't call this.
they
You
asked
won't.
the people
You
of
won't call
Karnataka
this.
to vote for Modi.
So you won't call this Rahul Gandhi's victory if you win. You'll call it Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar's victory.
We will say Congress won. Rahul Gandhi is our leader, no matter what. But in Karnataka, people of Karnataka will look for the ones who will become the chief minister. And totally BJP had lost it, because their leadership is not one person is there without a scam to his or her name in ministry, starting from, they even stole from children's food from Anganwadi.
Okay.
Eggs.
Okay.
They had a scam on eggs.
I
So
have to give Aarti the
here
last
it was
word.
totally.
just 30 seconds.
So here,
Yes.
they wanted they wanted the Karnataka people to vote for Mr. Modi, but we wanted the Karnataka people to vote for progress, for a change, for a clean government.
So this is quite
And not
interesting.
once did Mr. Modi deny 40% commission. Instead, he wanted to just change the whole topic to national narratives, or bring a list of names,
Okay,
91
Anand,
names. He
I
never
think what
cared about the
Bhavya-
people
I think- I
or the
think- I
problems
think-
they
I
were
think-
facing.
I think Bhavya stressing that the BJP tried to make the election national is correct. But I would be very intrigued to see whether the Congress sticks to its line of this was a local election instead of crediting Rahul Gandhi. Will the party credit Siddaramaiah and DK Shivakumar? We don't know. Anandji, really 30 seconds. I have to close.
Only
Aarti,
30 seconds. Okay. See, I am talking about the advanced physics class, Big Bang theory, which people were not understanding at that point of time before 2016. But now people are understanding, and nobody is thinking in that direction. Everybody thinks, okay, it's only leaders, and everything works around that. No, India has changed a lot. That's what I'm talking about. It's a boring topic, I know, but
no, it's not a boring topic. All we are trying to say is what Yashwant said. I'll just quote him. People vote for different things and people at different times.
Agreed.
And find it
But people's maturity
perfectly,
has gone up.
of course, and find it perfectly.
Yes.
And there is no contradiction in their minds in voting the Congress for the state and the BJP at the Lok Sabha. And that's the point Yashwant's been trying to make again and again and again. Aarti, the last word. I really do have to close. Can we also show the other poll of polls, please, and rotate the graphics? Go ahead. Go ahead, Aarti. Last word.
No, absolutely, Barkha. That's why I'm saying that, if the Congress wins this election, and it looks like the Congress is going to win it comfortably, I do not think that we can draw conclusions from this for 2024. So, this has been a Karnataka focused election fought on local issues. I mean, if the Congress tries to credit Rahul Gandhi with the victory, they would be really stupid. And I hope, since they have shown a fair degree of maturity throughout this campaign, I hope that maturity will
I think
persist.
Bhavya is trying to say something to you. Bhavya, can we unmute
Yeah,
Bhavya?
and I hope that maturity will persist, and they will say that this is a Congress victory. Congress, which includes Rahul Gandhi, but also includes regional leaders.
But Bharat Jodo really made a huge difference in these elections. Bharat Jodo, under the leadership of Mr. Gandhi, made a huge difference to our Karnataka
Can you
elections.
please stop praising Rahul Gandhi? Like, can the BJP please stop putting everything, on Modi? Please. I mean, there are local leaders who who carry the party with them.
Okay.
Karnataka is one place where the Congress has a robust local organization. And
Okay.
please give that local organization credit for, running a very good localized campaign, which may see the Congress in power with a comfortable majority. But this is not necessarily a reflection of what's going to happen in 2024. That question is still open.
Okay, Anurag, 20 seconds and Yashwant closes this.
Yes, Barkha, quick point. Barkha, you mentioned about a very beautiful phrase, temptation of extrapolating. If you have seen Priyanka Gandhi's status now on Facebook, that says she has put a status saying 1857 Kranti Bharat ka Pratham Swatantrata Sangram. So what they're trying to say is they're trying to extrapolate to the national politics, saying ab chalu ho gaya and now we are going to go all the way. But that's not what it is. You have to give credit to the strong local politics.
I think we all agree on that. Even Bhavya did underline
No,
the local
Karnataka elections and the results will definitely have a huge impact in future, whether it is Rajasthan or Telangana elections. This will definitely, our victory here is going to make a huge difference to other states where there are upcoming elections.
Let's see.
And that will
Yashwant,
be 2024 as well.
Last word. Can we have the ABPC voter slide on our screen and give Yashwant the last word? Yes. The ABPC voter
Barkha,
slide.
very quickly,
Yeah.
I mean, each and every election is different and each and every state is different, and every time the issue and what matters to people, that is different. So let's give due credit to people of India, and I have always maintained that being a survivor of emergency, I take really pride in that. This is the country which has produced a spectacular, magical result like 1977, Barkha. Forget about everything else. This is that country. So let's just appreciate the wisdom, the prudence of Indian voter, what they choose, why they choose, and let's just stop at that, because we know just over-analyzing anything probably is going to hurt some people in different way and some people in different way. But yes, one thing is clear, what Aarti said very carefully, with that the Congress, I mean, I appreciate the Congress spokesperson for saying that this is actually the hard work of the local people on local issues, and Congress does have wonderful local leaders. For the BJP, it is their central leadership which is more of an asset and local is more of a liability. For the Congress, it is just the other way around. Let's accept that. We know that is the truth, and let's carry it to the next 12 months of tracking public opinion and see which way the things are going.
And again, a hat tip to Yashwant, because really I can say we've done a bunch of programs with him on Karnataka, and he's been consistent. And when his tracker shows something different, he always updates it, including, by the way, Bhavya, on the Bharat Jodo Yatra impact, and the phrase he used was repairing Rahul Gandhi's reputation. So we leave it there. Yashwant Deshmukh, to Bhavya, Anurag, Aarti, Anandji, the real date is not too far, and I hope to have many of you back with us then. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective on this very interesting election in the run-up, as it were, to national elections in 2024. Local or national, we'll deconstruct that further on counting day. See you then. Thanks for watching.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Voter Story and support independent, robust journalism.